worry that this still says controller connected. So, here we are. Another code I got. Matter of principle. Same developer as the previous games. There's actual art in this. Okay. Franz Ferdinand. He was born in Graz on 18 December 1863. After the unexpected demise of his cousin Rudolf, Crown Prince of Austria, and his father, Karl Ludwig, he was heir presumptive to the Austro-Hungary Empire. In 1893, Prince Franz Ferdinand embarked on a journey around the globe. He was a devout Catholic and an esteemed hunter. The amount of his game is beyond count. He was to become the beacon of the Empire's fleet, a renowned voice of change, and a loving man to his wife. Sophie Schotek was born in Stuttgart on 1st March 1868. She was the daughter of a Czech count and a member of the poor but esteemed house of Schotek. She was a true Catholic zealot. She was not a member of any imperial major houses, thus she couldn't be married to Franz equally. Love, though, works in mysterious ways. Gavrilo Princip was born 25th July 1894 in Oblach. Let's elaborate on that and rewind a bit. The work is fictional. The author's composition does not justify the actions of the main characters. The purpose of the work is solely to study the characters in a complex historical context. Okay? 1900s. Oblach, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Nico, your name means victor. You are the toughest of the lads. A great destiny awaits you. Oh, what an ancient name it is. It means magnificent. We named you after your grandfather, who fought with the Turks for freedom of his motherland. You are growing up, be a decent and good Serb of your own. Gavrilo, your mother wanted to call you Sparrow after your late brother, but Father Yili insisted to christen you after the Archangel Gabriel, who takes the souls of the righteous. When you were born, you were weak, but with God's grace you turned out to be healthy, be just and fair. Dad, tell us again about our surname, please. Alright then, Nico, I'll do just that. Where does the surname Princip come from? Shouldn't you explain it to me before I answer? The very old surname? Choose the lore? Wrong. Your great-great-grandfather Todor was an important man, the most well-known livestock trader in all of the land. He dressed in style and usually rode to Dalmatia in his gorgeous steed, so the local Italians called him Il Principe Bosniak, the Prince of Bosnia. His nickname took root and became our family name. We're proud to be Princip. Dad, come on, I've listened to these tall tales 1,000 times. Also, our great-grandpa might have called himself this fancy, and the Italian simply took his word for it. Tall tale? Some nerve you've got. Breathe some air then, will you? Your daughter needs to start working early tomorrow. Yeah, those letters won't send themselves, surely. Right behind you. Hey, halt at once. Those are the younger Princips, are they not? Uncle Dragon, tell us a story. Of course, lads, but sing for us something first. Gavirulka, you start. You sound just like an angel. Christ our Lord, crucified and holy, Serbian land is flying through the clouds. It's flying over the heavenly heights. Its wings are Morava and Drina. And 3 holy and 3 unified. We're going to Kosovo Field. We're going to Destined Place. Farewell, my mother, my sister, and my bride. Farewell, my first unborn son. Farewell, Rose. Farewell, Rosemary. Farewell to summer, autumn, and winter. We're leaving to never return. The boundless reaches, the sincere looks in the eyes, the great songs, the beautiful men and women, the honest neighbors, the hard labor. A rich history, a poor country, centuries without freedom, a multitude of cultures, a happy childhood, an uncertain future. This is Bosnia and Herzegovina, the second motherland, the first home of Gavrilo Princip. Yes, I'm looking at the trophies. Did I need to ace that questionnaire? I did. Is there a guide on this? No. There is, but it's a video guide. Why? From 1900s, Vienna, Austria-Hungary. I am tired of this, you know. You're going to marry one of the noble heiresses. It's final. I've had enough of those grey mice. I love Sophie and I will not change my mind. I value her more than any honors and any titles, and far above the throne. You're being too loud, game. Can you imagine? An heir to the Austro-Hungary Empire is to marry a countess of such pathetic origin. Impossible. When one of our kind falls in love, it's usually some pettifoggers to discover absurd details preventing the act of marriage. As a result, man and wife are distant, if not close, relatives, and half of their children are incapable imbeciles. Friends. Either I marry Sophie or I die a bachelor. I will not change my mind even if I have to fight against the whole world. Or the Pope himself. What do you want from me in this case? You have to abdicate. You're going to have to publicly admit your marriage. A morganatic one. The court will not have Sophie as their equal. You will get no special privileges and hold no titles. Morganatic. Time for dictionary.com. Of or relating to a form of marriage in which a person or high rank as a member of the nobility marries someone of lower station, with the stipulation that neither the low-ranking spouse nor those children, if any, will have any claim to the titles or entailed property of the high-ranking partner. I didn't know this word. Post-college level.
Morganatic.
That's what she said. Not something that comes into play in modern society. True, true. Did you know this word? We have no need in that. Thank you very much. Yeah? No, my mom can't speak English. Friends, your children will be absent from the line of succession. 1900s. Reichstag, Bohemia. The emperor granted Sophie Schodek a title of Duchess of Hohenberg, but she still was not welcome at the court. She was also not allowed to sit by her husband at various receptions. Not a single member of the House of Habsburg was present at their wedding. Franz took it badly and held a grudge. Nevertheless, he did not regret anything. He was happy. Surely he and Sophie are going to have kids and live happily ever after. Surely! What can go wrong? I'm sure this Franz Ferdinand guy is going to live a long, happy life, and nothing important will happen. Right? He's gonna start a band, become famous? Exactly. It's gonna be in a hit anime. Yeah, Cyberpunk. You should watch that anime, Arrogance. You'll probably enjoy it. Man, so the first step, we'll get around to it eventually. Okay. Smint start watching Demon Slayer. Such a filthy casual. I gotta watch Demon Slayer too. We blow my nose. Sure, but I'm ready for the best animation I've ever seen in my life. That's basically why I want to watch Demon Slayer. I've seen chunks of a fight from the latest season, I think, or the movie, something like that. And holy shit, that's like... It's incredible what Ufotable does. It's just... No studio can compare to Ufotable in animation quality. It's CG? Is it? It doesn't look CG. Demon Slayer is CG? Okay. I am so casual. Maybe. Hey, at least I haven't watched Demon Slayer. There's no Fate is CG. I mean, every animation has CG. Doesn't mean it's not hand animated. It's certainly not Berserk, the Golden Arc, whatever. 1903, Olja, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Study? Why though? I'm about to kick the bucket. He has to help his old man. It is almost time to pay due money to the landlord, and we have nothing to eat. He yearns for education. Look at him herding the goats. Even then he imagines himself as a student of some science. He's a bright boy and he's up to great things. He will succeed, and not with brute force, as though he had any. Fine, he's going to study in Grahovo, and he will walk up there and back, on his feet, and God forbid, no bad marks. He will walk on his feet? What? So he walked. So he studied. Gavrilo, drop your damn books. Come sit down and eat like everybody else. He was a diligent student, a passionate reader, a fine young man. Gavrilo, I know how you feel about Serbian culture. This is my gift to you for your advances in studies. You're bound to be a hell of a patriot. We are so very much proud of you, son. You are not going to live your entire life in the village like your dada. You took after Hovo. He's a man who made a life. Let's visit him. Let's go to the big city. He will help us, I am sure. Why not, father? I really just want to study, that's all. Peter Princip dreamt to give his sons a chance to live a better life. Slowly his dream was coming true. The Princip family was poor, but saved some money enough to buy the tickets, and they really counted on the eldest son's support. My boy, how nice it is to see you. Likewise, Gravo is a big man now. I've read in the newspaper about the cadet school not so long ago. They are recruiting again, so any young man may live and feed free. And you get a fancy uniform on top of that. Gavro, what do you say? You can't miss a chance like that. I once served these pieces. You hear it, brother. You can't miss it, you know. Don't even argue. Settle then. I know just a place for you to stay here. A friend of mine who has a vacant room. Her name is Stoya Irik. She's a modest lady and a widow. Her son is a teacher in the countryside. Also, you need some clothes. Here's a shop that my namesake, Hovo Oshuta, runs not too far from here. Do you remember him? He'll be thrilled to see us, and surely will help out. This way. Peter, my old man, Gavrilo, Hovo, come quickly, let me greet you properly. What brings you here? Gavrilo has just finished school, so we're thinking, what's next for him? We hear there's a local cadet school recruiting. We might take our chances there. I think we need some decent clothes to wear and, you know, just some stuff. A cadet school? To think that a true Serb is fit to become an Austrian officer is a shame. Peter, you don't want your boy to be an enemy of the people? Slave to the tyrant's will? Surely? It cannot happen. I have some connections in the trade school. So let him be a tradesman. Why not? He will learn how to make good money, and afterwards he may switch to the gymnasium if he wants. What do you say, boy? Well, settle then. You've got one job now, to live on your own and to study hard. Ain't it lovely? And in a certain way, it was lovely. He was full of enthusiasm and he excelled at his studies. Although frankly, trade business was not at all to his taste. Instead of listening to the scripture, he'd rather have read another adventure by Dumas. As his grades deteriorated, so his attitude did. All he could dream about was him enrolling to the gymnasium. However, the admission tests are bound to be difficult. Hovo took his brother's dreams for a mere folly of a young man. He knew well how important for a grown-up to make a living. That's not a real sentence, but okay. He replaced anger with mercy later on. Gavrilo could really become a lawyer, a teacher, or even a journalist for all he knew. Eventually, Hovo even hired him a private tutor. The youngest Princip enrolled at the gymnasium in Tuzla. He stopped being a simple countryside fellow. This time he came all the way from the capital, but sadly, the scripture lessons never got any easier. As much as books, Gavrilo loved to play billiards. This type of leisure was banned in those days. He missed many classes and, as a result, was close to failure. He thought that Hovo would kick him in the streets and was ready for it in his heart to come back home. But Hovo gave him one last chance. He helped him to enroll at the Sarajevo Gymnasium. (1907) Artstetten Castle, Austria-Hungary. What an admirable shot, Your Highness. It seems we must expect excellent trophies today. Come now, dear friend, is that a trophy? I remember in 1894 in Australia, a small group of us hunters was set on in the wild. Your Highness! It's urgent, sir. If it has fallen on hard times, really scraping the bottom for just a few trophies. I'm not, doing it for trophies, though. Actually, the subject matter of this is interesting. I don't know about the writing, though. How are you, Cannoli? What? Have the Russians finally declared war on us? They better watch out. I hate being distracted from the hunt. No, they have not. His Majesty Franz Joseph I annexed Bosnia and Herzegovina. 1910, Sarajevo, Austria-Hungary. The works of Julius Caesar. Princip, your turn. I'm sorry, I haven't had the time to do my classes. I was sick, I couldn't even read. Is that so? Is there anyone who can confirm it? Yes, Dmitri and Askold can. How convenient, the two students who are currently absent. Sick as a dog? Nice. So am I. Actually, it's being really hard for me to read constantly. I don't know if I can do it for too long. I can vouch for him. I was at his place. He was ill and he had a fever. He couldn't speak, let alone read anything. Alright then, you won't be punished this time, Princip. I mean, even if you can't speak, you can still read, right? Thanks, buddy. A Croat lent a hand while my fellow Serb compatriots sat and laughed. We're all brothers here, Serbs and Croats alike. Croats. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. The Literature Society invites you. If interested, join us at the dining room after classes. How shall we call ourselves? Maybe... Hope? Nada? Nada is hope? As a founder, I'm going to be our chairman, and Trifko Graves, one and only, is suited to be our cash keeper. Tolstoy is an advocate of non-resistance to evil by violence. Bloody Habsburgs, strike assassination, Dostoevsky. French Revolution assassination, Nietzsche. Kropotkin. 1910. Belvedere, Austria-Hungary. And this is exactly what's wrong. Even before the annexation, we managed to make up a plan how to reform our empire, how to lower the risk of a national revolt, and how to avert a crisis. But why bother? Our dearest emperor made his move. Yeah. The Serbs are rioting, in cahoots with the Russians. You know well how I feel about them. I don't care for their Serb plums or whatever, and as for the Russians, I simply can't stand them at all. But at all costs, we must exclude the possibility of any military escalation. The Emperor's hasty, risky moves might play into our heads. It is going to be easier to make our plan come to fruition when Bosnia and Herzegovina are part of the Empire. When Franz III is crowned Emperor, I mean. Long live Franz III! We're going to split the state into several autonomous regions. As we solve the problem with the I hate saying that. The Czechs, and the Croats, and the Bosnians. Maybe the Serbs will finally put down the swords. Who's going to ask them nicely, of course, though? It's high time to curtail Magyar ambitions. I'll deal with Tiza Istvan myself. That's the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Hungary, a fierce political opponent to Franz Ferdinand's political agenda. There will be no wars and no revolutions. In 1910, Sarajevo. Franz Joseph I came to Sarajevo for a visit. There was a tailored program including a military display, a meeting with national congregations, a dinner party, and a special trip to Mostar. The journey was a success. General Marijan Varezanin, who became the governor of Bosnia and Herzegovina after annexation, was by the emperor's side that day. His star rose quickly after he brutally crushed the rebellion in the northern Bosnia. More than 30,000 peasants failed to pay taxes and were moved as a result. Many of them were tried at court. No, I mean really, dear General, it's like I'm young again. I'm beyond happy to hear that, Your Majesty. Little did the Emperor know that he could have become an easy target that day for a young Bosnian nationalist whose name was Bogdan Jeraji. A graduate of the Mostar Gymnasium and a law student at the Zagreb University, he was 24 years old. He was a professor and a leader of the secret society, Freedom. He was to become the first Bosnian Serb to express opposition to the Austrian annexation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. He failed to assassinate Franz Joseph, but now he had another person of interest. Get out of the way, you moron! Whatever the matter. Down! The Serbs will avenge me! Are you hurt? What the hell happened? Provocation. The Austrian authorities labeled Zarajic an anarchist and a maniac. In Serbia and Bosnia, he became a national hero. They cut his head off and placed it on display in a museum. The body was buried in secret in the outskirts of the Sarajevo cemetery. Maybe on another earth, the First World War started a bit sooner. Let us not hurry with assumptions. Hungarian authorities force culture and language in Croatia. Repressions take place among Serbs and Croats. Ban Kuvaj, a royal commissioner, cancels the constitution, implements tyranny. Censorship implemented. People's order to pay 5,000 crowns, freedom of assembly and of associations cancelled. Number of police grows, state of siege might follow. To be honest, this looks like a great look into the history of how the First World War started. I mean, how the band Franz Ferdinand first came to be. I kind of want to push myself to stream all of it, because it doesn't seem to be that big. but my throat is not collaborating. If every chapter is the same size, took us half an hour, so 1 more hour of talking? I don't know. I definitely need some tea. Maybe I'll stop here. Man. We. I didn't get to this part yet. We're getting quizzed. That's now how we're supposed to VN. Yes. Shit. Oh, okay. Doesn't count. Man. I'm divided because I want to play the rest of it, but I can't be reading constantly. I think I showcased it. You get the idea. But I'm definitely playing the rest of this. Just not reading it out loud. I need to go make tea, and I'll be back with something else.